Hey, how's it going? Just wanted to make a video about the KLR 650. This is my 2013 KLR. This is my first street legal motorcycle. Overall, I'm satisfied with it, I guess you could say. It excels in some areas and could use some work in some others. The 21-inch front tire and the 17-inch rear. The 21-inch front makes it feel like kind of like a dirt bike. The 17-inch rear gives you a little bit more stability. It does come with the rear rack. The dash could use some updating. It is a little old. That's one of the main factors I don't like. Everything's analog on it. One of the things about the KLR is the seat height. It has a little higher seat, a little bit wider too. I'm 6'2", 6'3", and you can see I'm flat footing it. Can roll it. It's kind of heavy, but a little over 400 pounds, but that's what you get. So let's go ahead and do some checks and get on out to the road and see how it does. Alright, so on road the KLR is decent. I guess you could compare it to maybe a lifted Jeep Wrangler. You know, you're not going to go around turns fast, it's going to be loud, it's going to shake. It's more home off-road, but it'll do it. You know, it's a little heavy, a little over 400 pounds, so you're going to be stand a chance against the wind, I guess. Not really going to blow you all around as much. However, the tall seat height, it's going to kind of counteract that heaviness of the bike. So, but it is capable. It'll do highway speeds, 60, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. Like I said, it's going to rattle and shake and scream, but that's part of a KLR. One of the big complaints I have about the KLR is the windscreen though. The small windscreen is going to cause air to just blast you. Helmet, chest, all over. You're going to feel the air. Also, the analog dash is not the best. It's really outdated. I mean, it does the job. I wish it had a fuel gauge, but there is no fuel gauge. Instead, you have the reserve on the carburetor. So let's go ahead and take it off-road and see how it does. Off-road, it feels pretty good. It's definitely a tank off-road or a tractor off-road. It's kind of like the motto should be slow and steady, because that's what this bike is. It'll get you through the stuff. It'll get you up the hills. You can get going pretty fast off-road, but it's not going to be your typical dual sport. Jumps, they're not out of the question, but maybe rarely, I would say, will it do jumps, or it should do jumps, I guess. The suspension just isn't really made for that. It's made for soaking up more of these little bumps and ruts and grooves and rocks, rather than flying through the air. Before I purchased the KLR, one of the things that I was more scared of, I guess, was the weight of the bike. At a little over 400 pounds, I was looking more towards a Versys 300, just because of the weight. I'm glad I didn't go that route, but all I can say is for the weight, it's once you get going, it's not noticeable. The only time you're really going to notice it is, of course, if you drop the bike, or if you're on the trail and you see like a little hill coming up, and you're like, all right, I'm going to get some air on this, and you go ahead and crank that throttle, and you just kind of stay on the ground, which isn't a bad thing, you know. I guess that you can look at it as it'll keep you a little safer, I guess. Another factor with the KLR, or owning a KLR, is the maintenance. It is carbureted, and with myself, I didn't really know much about the maintenance of motorcycles. I knew a little bit about cars, a whole lot about aircrafts, but nothing about motorcycle maintenance. And I got a manual, and with the help of YouTube videos, different forums out there, you can pretty much diagnose any kind of issue you're having and watch a video, or someone will have something posted on the forums showing you step by step how to fix the issue you're having. Things like cleaning the carb, tuning the carburetor, wheel changes, tire changes, clutch cables replacements, just really anything, valve adjustments, the doohickey, thermobobs, everything you can find online that you need step by step, and they're very, very good tutorials that really, as long as you can just have the right tools, they will show you step by step, and they will not miss any kind of detail, which is one of the great things about the KLR. It's just that community of riders that just try to help each other, you know. They really go out of their way, and they'll help you out if you need it. And I think one of the biggest aspects of purchasing a KLR, or looking to purchase a KLR, is you just need to know what kind of riding you're going to be doing. You know, if you're looking for something that's going to tear it up off-road, you know, KLR's not for you. If you want something that's going to be really good off-road, commuting, and do a little bit of trails, KLR's not for you. The KLR, it can do all that, but that's just not what it's made for. It's a budget bike. It's made for doing decent off-road, decent on-road, but you just need to look at the kind of riding, I think. For me, I was looking for a bike that was more oriented off-road, even though I was looking at a Versys because of the weight. Now looking back, I know I would have been hugely disappointed with that purchase. But with the KLR, I'm satisfied off-road. I think it has the components, the specs that you need, that I need to keep me out of trouble, really. I think if I had a lighter bike or a more powerful bike, I would get myself in trouble, get myself hurt. And this being my first bike, I'm kind of glad that it's a heavy single cylinder thumping tank of a tractor that can just go low and slow and get me out there and ride the trails. So overall, I think the KLR is a great bike. I'd tell you if I thought it was junk or trash, and I'm not just saying that because I own the bike, but I think that it's a great bike, and I'm satisfied with my decision to purchase it. I think the bike is a nice budget bike that can be the foundation for whatever you would like to make it into, with the aftermarket, huge aftermarket parts for this bike. If you're looking to make it more comfortable on road for highway use, you can get a new seat, taller windscreen, KLR kit dash, and get that wind out of your face and that seat more comfortable, and get some nice road tires, more road oriented tires, and make it an on-road bike. But if you want it off-road, you can, tons of parts for it off-road too. But I don't think that the seat height and the weight should really scare you off from making a great purchase. And overall I think it's a great beginner bike. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed.